here on Cactus Valley. In the bottom right corner of the map, it's going to be My Insanity's Red Zerg player, Serral.
In the top left, as the blue Zerg, it's Dimaga.
Dimaga, kind of like one of the older school players in StarCraft 2, and Serral, the young blood. But Serral came really far really quick. I remember when he first joined My Insanity 2, it was pretty impressive. He had some of the best Team League scores for the team. Just generally a good player. And I don't know, it's kind of crazy to see him go toe-to-toe with Dimaga like this for many different reasons, both positive and negative.
Well, the first time I saw Serral, I was impressed by his ZvZ specifically. So I'm not too surprised that I was performing here in this match right now. That's cool to see that he's still looking pretty good. But he does get a little unlucky with the openers. Dimaga went pretty greedy, you know, gas before pool and all the hatchery and whatnot, and he went for a pool first. You know, that kind of sucks. But hopefully we make up for it. I'm really interested to see if Dimaga goes for Lings again. So the Lings didn't work in game number 1. They worked at the very end of that last game. Eventually he just wore Serral down enough, killed enough queens, not enough larvae, etc., etc. So that was nice. But is he going to do it again here? Like, does that confirm that Dimaga doesn't feel very good about late game ZvZ? He just wants to get over with Lings.
Yeah, it worked last game through persistence, but it was one of those things that was kind of barely. I really don't feel like it would have worked if he had just kept at it in most other situations. Like maybe like 5 out of 10 times that game goes the same way. But at the same time, Dimaga might have just nailed it on the head. He might not want to play late game ZvZ versus Serral. Serral's proven time in and time out that his roach control is really good. His Hydralisk timings are perfect. Like, he doesn't get too greedy. He doesn't get too complacent. So it sounds silly, but if that's what Dimaga needs to do to get past this guy, I mean, it's then yeah, just keep up with the all-ins.
Yeah. Oh, Serral gets a drone.
Yeah, one of the other things too, like, let's not forget, is these qualifiers. Like, yes, it's top 4 get through to Challenger League, and that's all well and good, but $2,000 is associated with qualifying. It doesn't get advertised because it's not the big part of it, but Challenger League, just getting to it is worth $2,000, guys.
Yep.
So there's a lot of money to just do anything and everything, all the dirty tricks in the book possible to qualify.
Dimaga does not throw down a Balinus yet, but that might be because those Lings are really, really pesky. I mean, they killed a drone, they stayed in there for like a full minute, so that was quite annoying. And Dimaga is getting a lot of Lings, and then goes back into droning. Alright.
I mean, it is cross-spawn, so this is one of the maps you might struggle to get away with this with.
Yeah. He did something similar last game where he made those 15 Lings and then immediately went back into droning and then back into Lings. But that time he had a Baleen Nest right off the bat. Here his Baleen Nest is a little bit later, I would say, right? So I don't know if that's going to be defensive because, of course, you always have to worry about the counterattack in ZvZ. There's just, you know, Lings are speedy. You always got to worry about that. Gets one drone almost as a revenge, not quite the second. Sees that speed isn't done. Did he get eyes on the gas to begin with? Oh. You know, like, he might think that maybe, like, speed isn't... Oh, well, there it is for Serral now. Never mind. Ooh, Bane's hit.
Very awkward, yeah. Not that they were really attacking the right target there. But, yeah, Serral doesn't really take too much in losses. Dimaga, of course, only a little bit ahead in drones, but Serral will catch up in this next wave.
Yeah, 1. Not a big deal. Does make more Lings, but I would say this is only defensively, but again, those last 2 games, he droned, he got an Evo chamber, he maybe even got a spine crawler once, and then he still continued attacking. He didn't try and get up to a lair, so I'm hesitant to say what Dimaga's planning to do here. He even gets a second gas and some more drones, but that's a lot of Lings. The +1 missile, he has to be transitioning. Has to.
Well, what if he isn't, though?
But he is, because the layer also started. So
no, what if this is mind games, right?
So he's going to cancel everything right now?
It's like, Serral, I want you to scout my wiggly jigglies here and my wiggly booglies over here. And I want you to misread the situation.
Well, I'm glad to see that Dimaga's changing up and not just trying to force it with Lings. It might have worked. Hey, it worked last time, even when it wasn't expected, but not this time. It's going to go into more drones, equally timed lairs, faster third.
This defensive setup is really nice for Serral. I mean, it's just going to be too hard to break. And I think this is a big part of what Dimaga knew, like going for the actual transition in this game instead of sticking on Lings, because Cactus Valley is a map that's a little bit harder than normal to break.
Yeah, easy wall off. No, there's gonna be another Ling War around the third base, primarily. Once Dimaga, you know, gets over there.
I think he'll be okay. I mean, with the amount of links Serral has, the queen's out too.
He should be. But there's nothing else for these Lings to do. They're both transitioning to Roaches, so they might as well try and get the third.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame too. Dimaga's not really going to be able to take advantage of these earlier upgrades that he's getting. It's cross spawn on a big map like this. Just not going to have the attack ready to go. In fact, it's Serral who's going to be there a little bit quicker and a little bit sooner, with speed out sooner than his opponents.
Yeah. Dimaga invests a lot more in Lings. This Roach Warren was later. I mean, his Roach Warren is so late compared to that +1. It's kind of funny. The Lings need to make sure this third does not go down.
You know, bringing that up, it actually makes me kind of think, I really don't think Dimaga was planning to transition. All jokes that we made aside earlier, like that. This is a game I think he really wanted to win with Lings.
Maybe. But from the rest of the series, I agree. Yeah, he just seems like he doesn't want to go into this.
It's not like this isn't so mistimed, right? It's just it is a little bit awkward as far as like it doesn't feel like this was the build he was shooting for.
I guess so. We have to consider that he probably just thought he could get away with it too. It's not a lot of minerals to get a Roach form, but it is some, so if you think that they're not going to be able to attack you in time because it's cross-position Practice Valley, then you can hold off on it.
Bailey got a really nice hit there. I'm sorry I missed it with the camera, but we were watching this Queens get surrounded, and wasn't quite sure how that was going to go down. Hatchery, a little bit greedy for Dimaga. Go for this. I don't know if he's going to actually kill it here.
Yeah. He could have possibly given away all those Lings to try and get it down to a decent, like, you know, below half health, but doesn't quite want to give away his only army yet, as the Roaches are only now just popping out for him. So he runs back home, and they'll be back later to harass and counterattack and whatnot. But this attack from Serral should just be cleaned up with Defender's Advantage.
Well, maybe not so easy. Upgrades. It is 18 to 13.
Okay, yeah, but a lot of them are coming across the map. Dimaga still pumping in his own outs. The Roach speed is not done for him, so his micro's not really there. But as it is defensively for him, it's not that big of a deal. I really like this creep spread and the moving the Spine Crawler. That's kind of cool.
Hook it up, that defense. I mean, the Spine Crawler is very exposed by going here, but it does reach all 3 ramps. Yeah,
I think that's like the main point. It's really nice to see. Now, of course, you can just run around and go to the third. But as no one has Hydras and no one Mutas, Overlord should be spotting all of this.
Yeah, here come the Roaches. A little bit awkward on timing. Everyone's just kind of trading it a little bit on health. Now, as far as this goes for Serral behind it, he does have a pretty massive drone lead right now. Both players are just kind of jumping into that Roaches and only more Roaches mentality. If this is the case, I really like Serral's position moving forward. He'll have the more money. He can throw down to Hydralist Den. He'll be able to go 200 on Roaches a lot easier than his opponents. I mean, again, I really like Serral's positioning right now in the game.
Yeah. Dimaga's got a couple more drones to even things out, and he does have those faster upgrades. This could come to effect for this battle specifically. 2 seconds ago, 1 second ago, it's finished. He has an upgrade lead. Is it going to be enough, though? A couple of transfuses, a couple of queens, too, helping out DPS. It's very close, but the Defender's Advantage should work out for Serral.
Yeah, this is probably one of the hardest things to overcome in ZvZ. It's not the essence of a mirror matchup, but it's not Roaches versus Roaches.
No.
It's Defender's Advantage just being too damn good. Even the Overseer are going to go down.
And suddenly that all spirals out of control. You know, that went from, you know, I think he recognized that his upgrade's about to finish. Like, why else would he attack like that? But then he was committed by the time that it was done, so he couldn't pull back, and now he's severely down in supply.
I like Burrow. I like Tunneling Claws. Love the idea of healing up these injured Roaches, but yeah, that supply number is going to be pretty hard to overcome. Yeah. Even though some of these are in the red and probably like 1 shot from death, it's still the fact that there's 39 of them.
Yeah, Dimaga might be able to hold off on 1 more attack, actually, because it is Defender's Advantage, plus, of course, they're not healed up. But it is not looking like a good game overall for Dimaga, who is now on the back foot. Serral could... well, he's getting Tunneling Claws, so I was going to say Hydralist Den, but that's cool, too. Could get maybe a 4th base. He's trying to bank a bit of cash. A little supply blocked. Whoops.
I would love if both players did Tunneling Claws and both players sent 3 Roaches to each other's bases at the same time. They all did the on Burrow simultaneously. Just every player's out of drones in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah. Every single one of them has a couple of Overseers. I think Serral has 3 now.
Ooh. That's bailing speed to me down, Zombie Grub.
Ooh.
That's really hard to misclick.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I think he's gonna go ahead and have his composition be Roach Baneling against Dimaga, who hasn't really chosen his next tech. So Burrow, Tunneling Claws, that's cool tech to choose. That's great, but oh well, there you go. We don't usually see Roach Baneling versus Roach Baneling. There are, there's like 3 or 4 things you can really do.
Or infestors or something.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to get interesting. You could just see all the Banelings explode on each other and be really lame and end up being a pure Roach war, which is very boring.
I would love
or you could... What?
I would love to just A-moved all the Banelings through. Like, seriously. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's amazing. The initial splash would be awesome, but then watching a regular Roach war is what we're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Oh, 34 Banelings. Oh my goodness.
Just a bit. He didn't do the supply trick for this either. He just straight up went like 37 Banelings. Same's gonna be going down for Dimaga though. I can't believe just how on point these guys are. The advantage to Dimaga in this though. Well, there's advantages and disadvantages, right? An advantage to Dimaga is because he's got less workers. He had a bigger army supply available, but for Serral, he's got a much bigger bank because he's had more workers for longer.
Yeah, that's why he's looking better in the game as a whole. But Dimaga, doing that trick is cool to see. He was supply blocked originally to do it.
Not a trick, Dad.
It's funny to see that he was supply blocked originally. Whoa, the Banelings are rolling in.
Parting the Red Sea, very literally, coming in here. They go straight through the middle. Banelings gonna be straight up for Banelings.
Oh,
big bad explosions going down. Who really comes out ahead in this? Looks like it's gonna be Serral, barely? Question mark?
Serral has everything
Bailey's to the backside. Bailey's to the backside.
Oh, I don't think it matters, man. Serral is in every single base of Dimaga in the main base, natural and third.
Drones are halved immediately. Jesus, 30 to 68. This game's over.
It is. That was a pretty perfect attack by Serral.
The funny thing is I didn't even realize just somebody had segmented off, right? And he, despite being down 9+ roaches, he still almost took a pretty even fight.
Yeah, he did.
That's sick. Well, this game is, with no workers, no income, there's no way to play, and these roaches are still not all cleaned up.
Well, that's weird. Serral had an overseer with that army that is past Dimaga's army. Dimaga's only hope here is a base trade. And he's going to be allowed to do it when really he should have been stopped in the middle.
I don't think he can. There's just no way. There's no drones to even escape and turn into other shit.
No, he won't win, but it's his best hope. It's just not a very good one.
Kill the Roach for him, at least. Backsies up. He's already coming down, though.
Nailed it.
8 workers. Can't even get anything out of the base to build like an extractor with or something later on.
No?
Well, finish the hatchery, man. No? I don't understand. Meanwhile, on this side of the map, Serral's on 2,300 resources. I really feel if you wanted to just max roaches or something at home, easily could. He's going for lings instead. I guess hoping to just send those out across the map as quick as he can. There's no hidden bases though. 1 drone remains. Where's this 1 drone? Okay, so he might get a hatchery in the top right, but that's literally the only other building he can make.
He can't afford it.
Oh, you're right. So you build an extractor in a worst case scenario.
Yep.
Dimaga is going to lose this fight up back on for Serral. Serral's defender's advantage kicking in here really nicely. I think that's it. Serral is a badass.
Nice. GG.
Yeah, that's the thing I always like about Dimaga. He's always been a really nice guy. Messages like that are very common when it comes to losing matches, and GG. I feel pretty confident too that Serral will be one of the guys that gets through should he continue on the bracket. We wish him the best of luck. And yeah, we'll see you guys, I guess in a bit. We're going to go to an ad break. We'll try and find another match. It's been a little bit of a slow day when it comes to finding games, but we haven't